Hey guys, welcome back to Ageless Mind and Body. If you're a man over 60, listen up, because what I'm about to say might completely change how you think about your health, energy, and performance. We've all been told that things just slow down as we age. Low energy, weaker erections, fading testosterone. But what if I told you that it's not just age, it's your habits? And one of the biggest silent killers of male performance, dehydration. Yeah, I'm talking about plain old water. Most guys don't realize that your blood responsible for delivering oxygen, hormones, and everything that keeps you functioning is made up of over 90% water. So when you're not properly hydrated, your blood thickens, circulation slows down, and your body simply can't perform the way it should, especially in the bedroom. In this video, we're diving into why hydration is absolutely crucial for men's sexual health, and I'll show you some simple daily habits that can get your energy and performance back on track without pills, pressure, or gimmicks. So, grab a glass of water, hit that subscribe button, and let's talk about what your body's really been missing. As a physician who has worked with aging men for over 3 decades, I can tell you with absolute certainty that one of the most overlooked yet critically important factors in maintaining male vitality is something incredibly simple: hydration. Most men over 60 are surprised to learn that blood, the very substance responsible for carrying oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body, is composed of over 90% water. That means your ability to circulate blood effectively, especially to areas vital for sexual function, is directly tied to how well hydrated you are. Even mild dehydration, a level you might not even feel, can lead to a measurable thickening of the blood. When your blood becomes more viscous or sludgy, your heart has to work harder to pump it through your arteries. As a result, circulation slows, oxygen delivery declines, hormone transport weakens, and energy levels drop. Nowhere is this more obvious than in erectile function. Erections are not simply about desire. They are physiological hydraulic events that depend entirely on the efficient movement of blood into and within the penis. Without sufficient water in your system, the pressure required to initiate and sustain an erection cannot build properly. Men often tell me they still have the interest, but their body just isn't responding the way it used to. Before reaching for testosterone therapies or assuming age is to blame, I always ask one foundational question: how much water are you actually drinking? And how are you drinking it? Because hydration is more than quantity, it's about consistency and timing. Without a steady intake of water, your circulatory system cannot maintain the balance required for proper function. Blood vessels constrict, nutrient exchange slows, and your ability to perform not just sexually, but cognitively and physically begins to deteriorate quietly over time. What's more, as we age, the body becomes less efficient at conserving fluids and signaling thirst, meaning older men are more likely to be chronically dehydrated without even realizing it. If you're noticing fatigue, diminished stamina, or weaker erections, it may not be a hormonal issue or a consequence of aging at all. It may simply be that your body is missing the very thing it needs most to function: water. Proper hydration is not optional. It is foundational to your blood flow, your vitality, and your quality of life. As a physician specializing in men's health and aging, I've seen firsthand how many older men struggle with symptoms they often assume are simply part of getting older: low energy, poor sleep, reduced motivation, decreased libido, and a general sense that something inside has dimmed. But what most don't realize is that these symptoms are frequently linked not to age itself, but to chronic low-level dehydration. Dehydration does far more than make you feel thirsty. It has profound effects on your endocrine system, especially your hormone balance. When your body senses a shortage of water, it initiates a survival response, one that includes suppressing non-essential functions in order to preserve vital systems. Among the first to be downregulated is testosterone production. Testosterone is not just about sexual function, it is central to drive vitality, confidence, and emotional well-being. But when dehydration occurs, your body shifts its focus toward conserving energy and maintaining blood pressure, and as a result, testosterone levels fall. At the same time, your stress hormone cortisol begins to rise. Cortisol and testosterone are biologically opposed. They operate like a seesaw. When cortisol is elevated for prolonged periods, testosterone is naturally suppressed. This hormonal imbalance can leave men feeling flat, foggy, irritable, and disconnected from their former selves. And because dehydration doesn't always present with obvious symptoms, many men are unaware it's even happening. They assume their declining drive or mood is a natural part of aging, when in reality, their body is in a prolonged state of stress, silently sacrificing hormonal health to protect against what it perceives as a water shortage. Rehydration done intentionally and consistently can help restore this balance. By supporting proper fluid intake, the body can reduce cortisol production and resume normal testosterone levels, often resulting in renewed energy, clearer focus, and a revitalized sense of self. In my years of treating older men, one of the most common misconceptions I encounter is that drinking water is a simple matter of quantity. Just drink more and you're good. But the truth is, how you drink water is just as important as how much. Most men over 60 have developed poor hydration habits without even realizing it. They wait until they feel thirsty, then chug down a large glass of cold water, often while standing or on the move. While it may feel refreshing in the moment, this approach is surprisingly ineffective. By the time your body signals thirst, you're already mildly dehydrated. And chugging cold water overwhelms your system. It doesn't absorb efficiently and can even disrupt digestion and mineral balance. The body doesn't thrive on sudden intake. It prefers consistency. Slow, steady sips of room temperature water throughout the day are far more beneficial. Ideally, you should drink while seated and calm, allowing your parasympathetic nervous system the rest and digest mode to support proper absorption. Even letting water mix with your saliva for a few seconds before swallowing helps prime your digestive system and improves how that water is used inside your body. These might sound like small changes, but they have a big impact. When you hydrate gently and intentionally, your body responds with better circulation, steadier energy, clearer thinking, and stronger performance, especially in areas like sexual function and cardiovascular health, which depend so heavily on proper blood flow. Drinking water isn't about quantity alone. It's about rhythm, respect, and knowing how your aging body prefers to be cared for. Most men were never taught this, but once they begin to hydrate correctly, the improvements can be both rapid and remarkable. It's a foundational habit, and one that deserves your attention every single day. In my practice, I often see older men making a sincere effort to improve their health by drinking more water, only to be frustrated when the results don't match their expectations. What many don't realize is that certain everyday habits, though seemingly harmless, can quietly cancel out the benefits of proper hydration. One of the biggest culprits is caffeine. That morning cup of coffee, while enjoyable, acts as a diuretic, encouraging the body to flush out more fluids. Alcohol works in a similar way, dehydrating the body even when consumed in moderate amounts. When men drink water right after consuming coffee or alcohol, they may believe they're rehydrating, but in reality, they're often just playing catch-up, never fully restoring what's been lost. Another overlooked factor is the timing of hydration around meals and fruit consumption. Eating water-rich fruits like oranges or watermelon and immediately following them with a large glass of water can dilute digestive enzymes and impair nutrient absorption, leading to bloating and reduced hydration efficiency. Furthermore, while it's important to drink enough water, there is such a thing as too much. Overhydration, especially when done quickly or without balancing electrolytes, can flush out essential minerals such as sodium, magnesium, and potassium. These minerals are vital for nerve function, muscle control, and maintaining sexual health. A deficiency can leave you feeling fatigued, weak, and off balance. That's why hydration must be approached not only with intention, but also with awareness. It's not just about drinking more, it's about drinking smart. Understanding how everyday choices impact your hydration status allows you to make adjustments that support, not sabotage your health goals. When you remove these hidden barriers, your efforts begin to work with your body instead of against it, leading to clearer focus, steadier energy, and better overall vitality. As a physician focused on men's health, especially in the later decades of life, I've witnessed what science is now clearly confirming. Hydration is not just a lifestyle tip. It is a biological necessity with profound effects on nearly every system in the aging male body. Proper hydration plays a critical role in maintaining the quality of erections, overall energy levels, skin elasticity, cognitive sharpness, hormone regulation, and emotional balance. The reason is simple: water is the foundation for circulation, nutrient delivery, waste removal, and cellular function. When the body lacks sufficient water, even by just 1 or 2%, the effects are felt almost immediately. Focus diminishes, mood becomes unstable, and libido begins to drop. These subtle changes are often mistaken for signs of aging, when in fact they are early warnings of dehydration. I've treated men who assumed their fatigue, mental fog, and declining intimacy were permanent, only to see remarkable improvement after restoring consistent hydration habits. Their skin looked healthier, their sleep deepened, their motivation returned, and their sexual performance improved, not with medication, but with something as simple as structured water intake. It's important to understand that dehydration doesn't need to be severe to cause damage. Chronic low-level dehydration is far more common in men over 60, and because thirst signals weaken with age, the condition often goes unnoticed. Hydration is not about flooding the body with liquid, but about giving it the steady supply it needs to support peak function. With proper hydration, men often report feeling more like themselves, again, clearer, calmer, more in control. This is not anecdotal. It is supported by clinical research and decades of practical experience. When you hydrate correctly, you are not only protecting your organs and brain, you are preserving your identity, vitality, and quality of life. As a physician specializing in the health of older adults, I've seen how the body's ability to manage hydration changes significantly after the age of 60. What was once a minor lapse in self-care, forgetting to drink water or skipping a few sips during a busy day, can now have real and lasting effects. The aging body simply doesn't recover from dehydration as efficiently as it once did. Kidney function declines, the sensation of thirst becomes less reliable, and cellular water retention decreases. These changes, while subtle, make hydration more important than ever. Even mild dehydration at this stage of life can lead to noticeable symptoms: low mood, sluggish circulation, lightheadedness, and cognitive fog. I've had patients tell me they feel dull or disconnected, assuming it's a natural part of aging, when in reality their bodies are simply operating below optimal hydration levels. After 60, the margin for error becomes smaller, and the little things matter more. A consistent hydration routine, sipping room temperature water throughout the day, avoiding dehydration, triggers like caffeine and alcohol, and staying mindful of timing can make a significant difference. I've seen men regain energy, mental clarity, emotional stability, and even stronger erections just by correcting how they hydrate. It doesn't require drastic changes, but it does require consistency and intention. The body over 60 thrives on rhythm, on care, and on balance. Water is no longer optional or secondary, it's essential. When men commit to meeting their body's needs daily, they not only feel better, they begin to reclaim a version of themselves they thought was gone. Hydration becomes not just a health habit, but a cornerstone of sustained vitality, clear thinking, and overall well-being in the later decades of life. In my decades of working with older men, I've come to understand that the most powerful health improvements often come from the smallest, most overlooked habits. One of those is a simple morning breathing technique that, when paired with proper hydration, can significantly enhance blood flow energy and mental clarity. After you've had your first glass of room temperature water in the morning, ideally consume slowly while seated. There is a brief 7-second breathing practice I recommend. It involves taking a slow, deep inhale through the nose, holding that breath for a few seconds, and then gently exhaling through the nose again. This simple exercise activates the release of nitric oxide, a naturally occurring molecule in the body that plays a critical role in vascular health. Nitric oxide helps blood vessels relax and expand, allowing for better circulation and improved oxygen delivery throughout the body, including to vital areas related to sexual performance and brain function. As men age, nitric oxide production tends to decline, contributing to reduced blood flow, slower recovery, and diminished cognitive sharpness. But this easy breathing practice helps stimulate its release without medication or supplements. Combined with consistent hydration, this morning ritual becomes a powerful foundation for restoring vitality. It's not about complexity, it's about rhythm and respect for what your body needs. Most of my patients report feeling more awake, focused, and physically responsive within just a couple of weeks of adopting this practice. It's gentle, natural, and takes less than a minute, yet the benefits accumulate over time. Especially for men over 60, these intentional daily actions, water followed by breath, send a clear message to the body. It's time to wake up to perform and to reconnect with the energy and clarity you may have thought were gone for good. As a physician specializing in men's health, I've found that the most effective treatments are often the simplest ones, grounded in daily habits that respect how the aging body functions. When it comes to restoring energy focus and sexual performance, especially the quality of erections, hydration is a foundational starting point. But it's not just about drinking water randomly throughout the day. It's about creating a consistent, intentional rhythm that supports your body's natural systems. I recommend beginning each morning with 1 full glass of room temperature water, slowly sipped while seated. This should be done before any coffee or food, as it gently reactivates digestion, supports blood pressure regulation, and replenishes fluids lost during sleep. By mid-morning, I suggest another glass of water, this time with a small pinch of sea salt. The minerals in natural salt help your body retain hydration and support nerve and muscle function, both of which are critical for sexual and cardiovascular health. From lunchtime through early evening, maintain steady hydration by sipping water regularly, avoiding cold beverages that can constrict blood vessels and interfere with absorption. It's equally important during this time to limit dehydrating substances such as caffeine and alcohol, which many older men still consume out of habit, unaware of their impact. As the day winds down, you should stop drinking water at least 1 hour before bedtime to avoid nighttime urination, which can disrupt sleep quality and hormone production. This daily routine may seem simple, but when practiced consistently, it creates a strong physiological foundation for improved circulation, hormone balance, and sexual responsiveness. I've seen patients in their 60s, 70s, even 80s experience real improvements in energy, confidence, and bedroom performance just by following this hydration rhythm. They sleep better, feel more alert, and most importantly, regain the ability to respond when the moment is right. When you give your body water with care and timing, it doesn't just function, it begins to thrive. And for many men, this is the first step in reclaiming not just their sexual health, but their overall sense of vitality and control. The truth is, many men aren't losing their strength, their drive, or their performance because of age. They're losing it because they've unknowingly broken the rhythm their bodies rely on. Hydration is not just about drinking more water, it's about giving your body what it needs when it needs it in the way it absorbs best. I've seen countless men regain their energy, clarity, and confidence, not with medications or complicated treatments, but by honoring the simple act of daily hydration, done right. The body knows how to heal, how to perform, and how to thrive when we support it with intention. So let this be your starting point. One sip in the morning, one breath to awaken circulation. One steady habit that reminds your body it's still capable, still strong, and far from done. You don't need to feel old to act your age. You can feel vibrant, clear, and powerful at any stage of life. If this message resonates with you and you're ready to take back your health naturally, I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ageless Mind and Body. Here we share science-based strategies to help you stay sharp, strong, and fully alive no matter your age. Stay hydrated, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.